Back to our top story now. International diplomats are hoping for a pause in the fighting in Syria by the end of the week, but there's little sign of it today. The charity MSF says missile attacks on medical facilities and a school in the north of the country have killed up to 50 people. They're in an area where Syrian forces and their Russian allies have been carrying out bombing raids.
Monday morning in northeast Syria. Rescue workers scramble over the rubble of a hospital hit by missiles to rescue any survivors they can find. Russia is being widely blamed. It has been bombing intensively in this rebel-held area to try to win it back for President Assad.
The hospital is completely destroyed. We report at least 7 deaths among the personnel and the patients, and at least 8 personnel of Médecins Sans Frontières are disappeared.
Further north in Azaz, missiles hit a children's hospital and a school, apparently sheltering refugees fleeing the joint Russian-Syrian offensive. This is only a few miles from the border with Turkey, strongly opposed to both President Assad and Vladimir Putin's massive military support for him. Tensions are rising still further, just as the major world powers seem to be offering a little bit of hope. All the talk over the weekend in Munich involving Russia and the United States was about achieving a cessation of hostilities. That is not a ceasefire. Moscow and Washington agree a cessation does not apply to their bombing campaigns. The trouble is, Moscow sees pretty much anyone fighting against Syria's President Assad as a legitimate target. No distinction is drawn in the Kremlin between fighters for so-called Islamic State and these anti-Assad rebels who are supported by the West. So it's hard to see the 5-year war being anywhere close to an end.
The Russians can end this if they want to. They can make this cessation of hostilities work by scaling back their bombing and redirecting it against the real terrorists rather than bombing the moderate opposition.
But Russia shows no sign of changing course and is now embroiled in a hotter and hotter war of words with Syria's neighbour Turkey. Washington is urging cooler heads, but on the ground there's nothing positive to point to.